very good morning to the students. Welcome back to our today's video session of our chapter number 8, acids, bases and salts. So as we have discussed in our previous video session that what are actually acids and what are bases. So acids are those substances which are sour in taste, and bases are bitter in taste. As well as these acids furnish H plus ions in their aqueous solutions, whereas bases furnish OH minus ions in their aqueous solutions, and these bases are soapy and slippery in the touch. So these acids and bases has got many uses in our day-to-day life. So in our today's video session, we're going to discuss about the properties of acids as well as about the uses of acids. So we have learned already about the introductory part, that what are acids and where we can find these acids, what are its types. We discussed that basically these acids are of two types, that is natural and artificial. Natural acids are also known as organic acids, which are found in our organic food materials because they have carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. Whereas here these mineral acids, they are prepared artificially by using certain minerals. So they are artificial or mineral acids. Now let us start our today's video session, that is our properties of acids. So when we start with the properties of acids, the very first property of acid is when we test any acid, that means if we want to test a given solution as an acid or base. So when we use litmus paper, always blue litmus paper will be turned into red. That means when we gonna dip a blue litmus paper in our acid, it gonna show a color change, and that color change is nothing but blue to red. So when a litmus paper is showing color change blue to red, that is because of the effect of an acid. So it is an indicator what we use to find out whether the given solution is acid or base. So the first property of acid is it always turns blue litmus paper to red in color. That is the first property of acid. Second is when you check it out with artificial indicators like phenolphthalein. I'm saying when acid is tested with phenolphthalein, which is one of the artificial indicator we mostly use in our labs, this solution remains colorless. I'm saying the solution remains colorless. There is no change in the color of the solution. It indicates that it is an acid. So with phenolphthalein, our acid is not going to show any kind of change. That is with the phenolphthalein artificial indicator. Third property is it conducts electricity. So acids are good conductors of electricity because acids, they furnish ions. If I take this example of hydrochloric acid, HCl, and when electric current is passed through this one, what happens? It splits into H plus and Cl minus. So plus and minus ions, so it splits into ions. These ions, when they move, they helpful in the conduction of electricity. So because of the movement of ions, there is conduction of electricity. That's why if we want to make our water a better conductor, as we know that pure water or distilled water is the bad conductor of electricity. So to make it a good conductor of electricity, we have to add few drops of acid or certain amount of acid to that one. So with that addition, there is a formation of ions. That means it conducts electricity. So acids conduct electricity because of the formation of ions. Then they are very corrosive in nature. That means as we know that mineral acids are very strong acids. So that means they are very corrosive. They can damage, they gonna burn the organic materials like paper, waste food, waste of the food, cloths which are made of natural fibers. So they gets burned in presence of an acid, or if an acid spills on these paper or on these substances accidentally or by mistakenly, or if we are adding on that one. So that's why they are very corrosive in nature. That means if concentrated acid even spills on our skin, it causes very severe burns. It can cause severe burns. That's why we have to be very careful when we are testing or when we are using an acid. So for that we can say that acids are very corrosive in nature. Then they are soluble in water. Acids are good solvents. That means they totally gets dissolved in water. So that's why they can conduct electricity. So they gets dissolved in water. Next, when we add acid with water, that means you have a test tube in which one you have the acid, another one you have water. So when acid is added to water, what happens? Generation of heat takes place. Generation of heat. So it is an exothermic reaction in which heat energy is liberated is known as exothermic reaction. So here generation of heat energy is taking place. So when acid is added to water, always heat energy is liberated, and this process we call it as dilution. What we call it as dilution. Diluting an acid means adding that means adding acid to the water to reduce its concentration. So mostly in our labs people use the dilute form of an acid. What happens if we add water to the acid? We know that it is an exothermic reaction, heat is going to liberate. So here when heat is generated, when water is added to acid, generation of heat energy takes place, because of which the acid may spill out, or there is a chance of breakage of a test tube. So acid may spill on us, fall on us, may cause severe burns. That's why we have to add acid to the water, that is slowly drop by drop we have to add, and then we have to stir it properly. That is the correct way of dilution. So the correct way of dilution is adding acid to the water slowly, drop-wise, with continuous stirring. Got it? And last is, whatever be the acid, when it is going to react with metal, it always forms the salt of that metal with the release of hydrogen gas. So always, whatever be the metal, when it is going to react with acid, it generates salt and hydrogen gas. Like an example, aluminium reacts with hydrochloric acid. It liberates aluminium chloride, AlCl3, the salt of aluminium, with the release of hydrogen gas, H2 gas. So this is a reaction, with the metals. But there are certain metals like copper, gold, silver, platinum. These are very least reactive metals. That means they are not going to react with acid. So that's why we can wear gold, silver ornaments, because they are very less reactive in the nature. Students, that is about the properties of acids. Now let us see what are the uses of acids. That means what are the different uses of acid. As we all know that these acids, organic acids, when we talk about them, they are found almost in everything. Like if I just say about organic acids, that is ascorbic acid. Ascorbic acid. That is vitamin C. So these acids are basically present in our citrus fruits, or citric acid is present in our citrus fruits. So ascorbic acid is the chemical name of vitamin C, which is very essential for the healthy life or for the health of the living organism. Vinegar, which consists of acetic acid. This acetic acid which is present in the vinegar is added to the food materials as a food preservative. That means it is used as a food preservative or to improve the flavor or the taste of the food materials. Other than that, this acetic acid is also used in the manufacturing of ink, what we are using in our gel pens or pens, ink, then as well as the ink that what we are using in our pen, not that one, the ink which is used for textile printing. That means whatever be the printed forms we see on our clothes, for that printing purpose, in that ink, for manufacturing that ink, they need acetic acid. Dyes, coloring things, then photographic chemicals, as we told, okay, no, that means to develop the photographs, the chemicals what we required, they are, okay, no, produced with the help of acids. Then pesticides what we use for killing the unwanted insects in our agricultural fields, they are also used in the manufacturing of pharmaceuticals, many medicines. Then rubber, plastics, okay. Other than that, we know the gastric juice. What is gastric juice? Gastric juice is the digestive juice released in our stomach. This gastric juice contains hydrochloric acid. It means this acid is also playing an important role in the digestion of food in our body. Okay, this is about the organic acids. When we talk about mineral acids like sulfuric acid, this sulfuric acid is the most abundantly used acid in our laboratories as well as in our industries. Okay, now it means it is used for manufacturing drugs, dyes, many pharmaceuticals, explosives, plastics, chemicals like copper sulfate, okay, no, and many other fertilizers like ammonium sulfate. Okay, these are the various uses of sulfuric acid. Then hydrochloric acid, one example is it is present in our stomach, which helps in the digestion of food. Other than that, it also used in broilers, in the purification of salts. Okay, now there we people use these hydrochloric acid. Other than that, nitric acid, HNO3. This is nitric acid. Where we are using this nitric acid? Nitric acid is mostly used in the preparation of explosive. Okay, no. Then TNT, trinitrotoluene, is one of the chemical which is used in the explosives. Then RDX explosives, okay, no, in the research development, and it is also used in the extraction of previous metals. That means when we are extracting gold and silver, they are in the impure form. To extract them in the purest form, we people need nitric acid. Okay, no. Other than that, this is also used in the rocket fuels. Okay, no, that means in our rocket fuels to maintain the cleanliness of stainless steel parts. So the parts which are made up of stainless steel, for their cleaning we people are using nitric acid over there. Other than that, one important use, that means royal water or aqua regia. It is a mixture of hydrochloric acid and nitric acid. It is a combination of hydrochloric acid and nitric acid. So here we people have 3 parts of hydrochloric acid and 1 part of nitric acid. So this combination of 3, that means suppose if we are making 30 ml of that one and 10 ml of nitric acid. Okay, no? So in this way 3 parts of HCl and 1 part of, so 75 ml of HCl, 25 ml of nitric acid, so 100 ml of solution prepared is known as aqua regia. This solution is used for cleaning the gold ornaments, or I can say that it have the capability that it can dissolve silver, platinum and gold, which are least reactive metals, but this solution aqua regia has got the capability that it can dissolve all these solutions. So there are many different acids, organic or artificial. Okay, no, if I just talk about like red ants when they bite, okay, no, we have pain and swelling, itching because of the presence of formic acid. Then citrus fruits, like you people are using orange, lemons, these are citrus fruits. Why they call citrus fruits? Because of the presence of citric acid. Then curd, it have lactic acid. We have spinach, tomato, which consists of oxalic acid. Okay, then Indian gooseberry, amla and citrus fruits, they also consist of ascorbic acid, which is vitamin C. Apple is consist of malic acid. Then tamarind, mangoes, unripened mangoes, they consist of tartaric acid. Okay, proteins, they are made up of amino acids. Carbonated water, the cold drinks what we people are drinking, carbonated water, it consists of carbonic acid, and urine consists of uric acid. So in this way, these are the different okay, now common acids as well as their sources what we observe, use or we notice in our day-to-day life. Okay students, that's all about the properties of acids and uses of acids, and that's all in this video session. Okay, in the next video session we'll be discussing about the bases, its types, again its properties and its uses. Till then, enjoy your day, enjoy the video session and have a very good and wonderful day. Goodbye, students.